Hello everybody. I will be doing chapter 7 from page 120 as my pair partner did from the beginning up until page 119. So using a flag, in the previous example we had the program perform a certain task while a given condition was true. So now we are going to use the parrot.py. So we're going to set the variable active to true, so the program starts in an active state. And then there we go. Let me just try running this. So the while statement, it makes the while statement simpler because no comparison is made in the while statement itself. So in the if statement inside the while loop, we check the value of the message once the user enters their input, and if the user enters quit, we set active to false and the while loop stops. Then if the user enters anything other than quit, we print their input as a message. So I don't know what's going on here. Okay, sorry, let me comment that out. Tell me something and I will repeat it back to you. Okay, let's see. Quit. Tell me something, I'll report to you. Hi. Okay, using a break to exit a loop, cts.py. I don't know why it's not running the way it's supposed to be running. So to exit a while loop immediately without running any remaining code in the loop, regardless of the result of any conditional test, we use the break statement. The break statement directs the flow of our program, and we can use it to control which lines of code are executed and which aren't. So we have our break here. So our prompt is please enter the name of the city you have visited. Prompt enter quit when you have finished. While true city, it will print out our prompt. And then if we enter quit, it will break the loop. Otherwise it will print I'd like to go to the city that I have entered. So let's try running this. Okay, let me try printing that again. Okay, please enter the name of the city you have visited. Let's say Cape Town. I'd love to go to Cape Town. There we go. And then if I do quit, it'll break the loop. And then we have using continue in the loop, and we're going to use counting.py. Rather than breaking out of a loop entirely without executing the rest of its code, you can use the continue statement to return to the beginning of the loop based on the result of a conditional test. So here we have a loop that counts from 1 to 10 but prints only the odd numbers in that range. So current number is equals to 0. Let me comment this part. So we have current number 0, um, and then, sorry, just trying to comment it out. Okay, let's print that out. So current number is 0, while current number is less than 10, current number is plus or equals to 1. But if current number in percentages was 2, we can continue, and then we print the current number, and the current number is 10. So we set the current number to 0 because it's less than 10, and we increment the count by 1, so the current number is 1. The if statement then checks the modulo of current number and 2. If modulo is 2, which means the current number is divisible by 2. And yes, so this is supposed to be on, but it just printed 1. I don't know why it's doing that. But to avoid infinite loops, we are going to use counting.py. So x is equals to 1, while x is greater or equals to 5, print x, and x plus is equals to 1. Okay, let me print this out. Okay, so this loop count from 1 to 5. There we go, 1 2 3 4 5. However, if we omit this line, the loop will run forever. So let us remove the x plus is equals to 1. It's just looping up until it's not breaking. See that? So the value of x will start at 1 but will never change. As a result, the conditional test x is greater or equals to 5 will always be valid to true, and the while loop will run forever, printing a series of 1s. Every programmer accidentally writes an infinite or while loop from time to time, especially when a program's loops have subtle exit conditions. And then we have, sorry, let me just do this. And then we have using a while loop with lists and dictionaries. We have confirmed users.py. So far we've worked with only one piece of user information at a time. We received the user's input and then printed the input of a response to it. Now, moving items from one list to another. So we start with users that need to be verified and an empty list to hold confirmed users. So unconfirmed users is equals to Alice, Brian, and Kedis. Confirmed users, it is an empty list. And then while unconfirmed users, current users equals to unconfirmed users dot pop. We print verifying user, now current user dot title, confirmed users dot append current user. So we begin with a list of unconfirmed users, which is Alice, Brian, and Candace, and an empty list to hold confirmed users. And the while loop runs as long as the list of unconfirmed users is not empty. Within this loop, the pop method We'll remove unverified users one at a time from the end of unconfirmed users, and then we simulate confirming each user by printing a verification message and then adding them to the list of confirmed users. So if we print this, we have verifying user Candace, verifying user Brian, verifying user Alice, and then the following users have been confirmed: Candace, Brian, and Alice. And then we have removing all instances of specific values from the list. We have pets.py. We have pets, and then in our pets we have dog, cat, goldfish, cat, rabbit, and cat. And we print pets, and then while cat and pets that remove cat, print cat. Okay, let me just clear the terminal so that I can be able to print this out. Okay, so we have our original list, and then we have a list where they removed cat, with cat removed from the list. And then it's going to be dog, goldfish, and rabbit. And then filling a dictionary with user input, we have mountain.py, responses, set a flag to indicate the polling is active. Okay, so the program first defines an empty dictionary responses and sets a flag. And within the loop, the user is prompted to enter their name and mountain they'd like to climb. And then that information is stored in the responses in the dictionary. And the user is asked whether or not to keep the poll running. If they enter yes, the program enters the while loop again. And if they enter no, the polling active flag is set to false. The while loop stops running and the final code block displays the result of the poll. So if we run this, we will have what is your name, Martha. Okay, it is just, I don't know what is the problem. Respond. Okay, I don't know why I went wrong here, but it is not printing out everything how it's supposed to print it out. But the summary of the chapter is that in this chapter we learned how to use input to allow users to provide their own information in our programs. We learned to work with both text and numerical input, and we learn how to use a while loop to move items from one list to another, and how while loops can be used with dictionaries. And that is the end